Right into game 2 of this quarterfinal match for www.lastplayerstanding.com open tournament number 1. 500 Canadian dollars is on the line right now. Oddz and Lilpooh, either one could win it. And I feel like we really didn't see what Lilpooh could play, what he could do.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to see if he does a little bit better in this game. We're going to go ahead and get things started. The map is going to be MetalopoLis. So again, thanks for joining me. I am Doa. With me is my buddy Entropy. We're going to cast the crap out of this game, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he really gave that... I don't know, he gave that away to his opponent. He really just led him to his proxy, and it was absolutely the wrong decision.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, not sneaking those SCVs in there, but, that was this game. This is this game. We have got Oddz spawning as our red Protoss player over on about the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock position on MetalopoLis. I'm a flip-flopper. I go back between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock on this position all the time. But he's going to go ahead and put his first pylon down. And his opponent, again, of course, is going to be Lilpooh, spawning as the blue Terran player on MetalopoLis over at the 9 o'clock. So cross positions on MetalopoLis. And, so I think we're going to see a little bit longer game here.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, and definitely, you've got levels of, laddering can be stressful.
Yeah.
Tournaments are way, way more stressful if you haven't done a lot. You'll get the hugest adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
So I can totally see, somebody just being like, you're overwhelmed with feeling. You're like, proxy barracks.
Yeah, I know. That's actually something that we even hear players like Day 9 talk about, where he got really nervous in one of those early tournaments and 5 pooled, and when he played Zerg in one of those. So yeah, I mean, there is that temptation that's just like, I'm so nervous, I just want to get it over with. But that's absolutely not what you want to do. I don't know. I can relate to the nerves. I've played in one tournament, and I was matched up against clones from VT Gaming in the first round, and he absolutely crushed me, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's actually a pro gamer. Yep. And and my nerves got to me, so it happens.
Yeah, in pressure situations, I tend to put 5 or 6 force fields right on top of each other. Not the most effective use.
No, because they don't stack up like a tower of force fields. They just kind of override each other. So Lilpooh walling off, he does trap the probe, so that probe will die eventually. It's made out its last will and testament in its proby language, and it's going to go ahead and fax it over because it's got a fax machine built on.
It's like recycle my parts on IRE.
That's right. I want to be a pop can someday. That probe, though, I don't know, maybe he'll steal the gas or something like that.
I want to hold a fabulous zealot drink.
Kind of a late first gas for Lilpooh, getting that 15 instead of the regular 13 that you'd see most Terran players do. That could be because he walled in so early. That's probably the reason. I don't know if that was intentional. You don't really see that in a lot of builds, but I don't know. We'll find out if it's going to matter or not. Cybernetics score just now finishing for Oddz. And if he goes into something like a 3-gate Stargate pressure, he could do a lot of damage to this. I mean, that's the one big detriment of walling in against Protoss, is Stargate play is so hard to deal with.
Yeah, but it does definitely require a certain amount of skill, just because Stargate play, if you're going to actually attempt to kill your opponent, you need to be microing your units all the time.
Yeah.
Every second that Voider is out there, you need to be watching to make sure that Marines don't run underneath and kill it. So if you aren't good enough to do that and macro at the same time, you're just going to have a hard time.
Yeah, Lilpooh putting down his second barracks and getting a second gas at the same time. I'm really confused about this. I mean, there's really no build that I've ever heard of that involves doing this. One thing that it kind of makes me think of, though, because now that I see this, I'm like, well, what could you use this for? You could get 2 fast tech labs and then go for stim and combat shields at the same time, and then do like a really early strong bio push, I suppose.
Yeah, back in the beta, I remember doing that. You just get all of the overpowered upgrades and then just kill your opponent. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And you really do need a lot of gas for that, too, if you want to get it really, really, really early.
Oddz looking really confident here, putting down doing a 1-gate expand and then putting down another couple gateways.
It will be scouted by the neutral supply depot, though.
Yeah, that's right. This Terran player, he's not in the game, but he has a supply depot there that was just kind of left over from the last game.
He thought of donating some SCVs to Lilpooh. They would spawn as the black SCVs, but ended up not. That would be against the tournament rules.
Helps quite a bit. One Stalker trying to poke a little bit, but it will be chased away by those Marines.
Yep. And going to run...
Uh-oh. Whoa, run, Stalker! Okay, so that Stalker taking a little bit more damage. I mean, he could micro against those Marines if he wanted to, but doesn't really need to. Factory going
once
down
you're out of
Lilpooh
shields,
as
it gets really, really dangerous to micro too much at all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if he'll just move up to the watchtower. Yep, there he goes. So he's going to have a good map presence, but Lilpooh does have his own watchtower, which is good.
Yep. And I'm really curious to see... Okay, it looks like it's just going to be another gateway.
Is that a second factory by Lilpooh?
Oh, if it is. Oh, it is. Huh. So we might see Blue Flame, Hellion, Marine timing push, possibly?
Yeah.
Interesting choice. Engineering Bay going down right now. Wants to be safe against those DTs. Wants to maybe get a +1 upgrade as well.
But Oddz is getting a Forge. I really wonder. He's got to be using that for upgrades.
Well, look, he's getting Lilpooh's getting a tank right now. All right. So if he adds on a starport in siege mode, if he adds on a starport, he could potentially be going for like that marine tank timing push kind of thing. It's not going to work that well because of the second factory, but you know it's still an effective unit composition anyway.
Yeah.
I'm forward for upgrades.
I'm really just waiting to see what Lilpooh does.
Twilight Council from
Armor.
Oddz.
Armor, I like that. I wonder if Oddz is going to go into charge after that.
He should. I mean, armor plus charge, especially if he's going up against someone who's going marine tank as a Terran. Zealots with charge and armor do so well against a marine tank, it's ridiculous. You know, you add in some sentries with Guardian Shield, absolutely crushes it. When I played Protoss for a while, that's what I would do every time, basically, against Terran. I don't know, even against Bio, like, charge lots with armor upgrades and sentries with Guardian Shields.
Cuts the marine damage about in half.
Yeah.
You end up getting 4 armor versus 6 damage. They
Add on some Archons, too.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, look out, probe. Turn me into a Campbell soup can. Alright. So the watchtowers are controlled right now by, one by Oddz, one by Lilpooh.
Yeah?
Lilpooh.
Yeah.
I have trouble pronouncing that Lil, that L-I-L. I keep wanting to say, like, little and put, like, a T sound in there.
Well, you need a pair to whip it back and forth.
That's true.
It helps. I'm just mesmerized by the center of MetalopoLis, checking out all the fans and the ventilation they need for this giant building. It actually probably smells really bad right there.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
where all of the bathrooms in MetalopoLis ventilate too.
Well, you've got like this big like radio tower thing here, so maybe it's just kind of keeping it cool, possibly.
Refrigeration.
See, this is where all the streams from MetalopoLis get cast from. Is this giant radio tower right here.
So many games are held there, they need a really large one.
The more you know. Hallucinated Phoenix moving across the map for Oddz.
He's going to be happy when he sees those double factories.
Yeah, he's going to see absolutely everything. Coming up in just a second. And once he sees it, we're going to have to see how he responds. He's already getting armor in charge, so he's already going to be set. He's like, yep, I thought so.
If he changed anything, he'd be doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He's actually doing exactly what you need to do, so...
Well, one thing, in his Phoenix, does he know that his opponent has... I don't think he knows that his opponent hasn't expanded yet.
Ooh, and a Dark Shrine.
Really good if his opponent doesn't have a starport and doesn't have an expansion, so he only has one set of scans. And that's going to be really, really good. And he might even build a pylon and then hallucinate a Phoenix to get it up into the main base.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lilpooh does have a missile turret there to kind of protect the ramp, but this army is going to be at the mercy of these DTs. Although, I gotta say, I think the army is probably going to hit before the DTs come up if he just goes straight to the base right now. Siege mode is finished, and this is actually a pretty strong push. If Charge wasn't about to finish for Oddz, I would be a little bit worried about him.
Yeah, but he's got so many zealots. His opponent is just going to be running away the second that he sets up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, no stim, no marine upgrades. He does have +1, I guess.
He does have siege mode too, but
yeah. Well, I do like that he's going to check for the third. Definitely a good decision.
If he just pulls back here,
we're gonna have a probe trying to put a pylon running into this army, and this is so lucky. Oddz is actually super lucky.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, never mind. He's not. He doesn't. What? He doesn't see the army. Now he knows that probe's like, where did it come from?
And they're. Yeah, he's getting some hits in on something. Looks like a couple stalkers went to their deaths.
Hitting a stalker, yep. And the Marines moving down. The tanks are a little bit far back right now.
DT getting warped in and going to start attacking those Marines there.
Yep.
We'll see if Lilpooh actually... Yep, there we go. He did have one scan.
Nice. Hopefully he has some more saved up. Let's check real quick here. He does actually have enough for 2 more scans. He had 98 energy, so that's going to be enough very, very soon.
Oh.
Sieging up a little bit late, though, and this army is absolutely going to melt. Look at that. Guardian Shield, Zealots with armor and charge. What'd I tell you?
Yeah. You don't need anything but Zealots.
Look at that. He hardly lost any Zealots at all.
Wow. They all got really low, but... Oh, there we go. Finally some die.
Well, the reinforcing siege tanks didn't siege up in time either, and yeah, there's the third base going down. This tank was like, hey, I heard there was a fight here.
We almost had this fight, right?
Is this where the fight's at?
I've come to save you.
That's right. It's like, Chief, I can't reach you on ComScan. Chief is dead. Get back to the base.
He used up all of his energy on DTs.
That's right.
So, yeah, we see Oddz just powering quite a bit. He's getting set up for his third base, so he'll be really, really strong going into the mid-game.
And this DT is going to cause some damage. Look at how hard it is to see DTs on that sand. That's so annoying. Okay, scan goes down. Does take it out. Almost gets a tank. And here comes the army, though. Does he have enough? Tanks are not sieged up again.
And he's not on top of his ramp. This is going to be a really bad place for Lilpooh to fight from.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been better for him to just leave the tanks unsieged and just try to repair it. But I don't know. This could be the end of the game already here. Yeah, there's not a whole lot that Lilpooh can do. I mean, he's like walled off like a crazy person, but there's no real units there.
He needed one siege tank up on that high ground, and he would have held this off.
Yep, more zealots coming in. And, you know, maybe a little bit difficult for him to bust up the ramp, yeah, considering there is a siege tank there now.
So, yeah, he's going to have to pull back, but he's in such a good position here that he really...
That Marine was not in a good position.
No.
Ew. Oh, that's disgusting.
Gross.
You cut him in half the long way, man. Some zealots, like, he's just like, alright, watch, I'm going to go for the stylish one this time, guys. And he just jumps up and cuts it down there.
Yeah.
A couple zealots with their butts on fire running away from that tank.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I mean, if you look at the worker count, 59 to 29, supply count 93 to 54. Oddz is so far ahead right now. He can just basically macro up another army and probably go in and win. I mean, I don't know, Lilpooh might as well add turtle to the end of his name, because that's kind of what he's going to have to do this game to stay in it. He could potentially try and expand again. He is getting a second command center. So, I don't know. I mean, I suppose he's not out of it completely just yet, but he's very, very far behind. It would be almost impossible for him to come back at this point.
This is the point of the game where you hope your opponent makes some big mistakes.
Yeah,
but as we
exactly.
see, Oddz is actually adding a robo, so if his opponent decided he was so far behind he needed Banshees to just give him a miracle win, that wouldn't help him. Yeah, Oddz is just playing super, super safe right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you really have to do when you know that you're this far ahead. Just play really safe. Take the Zelnaga towers like he's doing right now. And yeah,
push
so
up. He's got map control. He's got army. He could really move a lot of his army up and just like deny his opponent's natural if he wanted to.
Yeah, this is just a horrible feeling right now for Lilpooh, knowing that you have like no map control. You can't see anything. You're like imagining the largest Protoss army you've ever seen, right on the edge of the fog of war.
8 Void Rays, 6 Colossus.
Yeah, exactly. You're terrified, and you're just kind of waiting for the game to end at this point. So,
mothership, why not?
Yep, sure. Let's add a mothership in there.
They're pretty scary.
Let's add some Reavers in there. Bring them in from StarCraft 1.
Yeah.
Do a little bit of
Those
Reaver
are really
micro.
scary.
Yeah. I mean, he does have a good amount of tanks, but we've seen already that, I mean, in the past fights, the tanks have gotten sieged up so late. That's been tough. And look at this, too. No Stim yet. Stim has still not been researched by Lilpooh, so clearly he's a little bit shaken here. That DT a little bit shaken after being shot by a siege tank.
Twice.
Yeah.
But he does have 2 kills. So he knows what he's doing. He's going to check for the 3rd, and he'll be pretty confident when he sees that his opponent actually hasn't expanded yet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep, there we go. Getting a planetary as natural, he really does need to do that because he is that far behind at this point.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some bunkers too, because right now he knows what his opponent's upgrades are and what his general composition is, and Marine tank is just not going to be good against, you know, speed lots in general.
Well, this DT can kind of chill out at this expansion too until he really, you know, feels like going somewhere else. There's no reason to really attack with him or move him or anything. This Marine is
he can chill out
hanging
too.
out. This Marine's hanging out by the cafe here.
Yeah, he's protecting it.
It's like a drink. I think it's supposed to be raining on MetalopoLis. Look, you can kind of see the rain in the streetlights.
Wow, that's really subtle.
I don't know. Or maybe that's just a sprinkler. It could be like an outdoor shower on MetalopoLis.
It's like the Wild Wild West. When you go shower, you just pull the curtain around the little spigot and turn it on, dump some cold water in yourself, and you're done.
I've got Zergling guts all over my Marine armor. I'm just going to stand in the shower on MetalopoLis for a while. Yeah.
You can just never get all the Zergling guts cleaned out of my armor.
The blue Protoss goo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here comes a decent-sized army from Oddz.
That Zealot is going to be pissed. You stay away from my caffeine. Or my cafe. And the army moves away.
Yep.